Exam 1 review, part 6, number 19, solve the inequality 3 plus 8x is less than 3x plus 12. We're going to treat inequalities just like equations. The only rule that is different from equations is when you divide or multiply with a negative number, the inequality sign flips. So, because we're treating this as an equation, the first step is to gather similar terms to one side. So the first thing I'm going to do is to remove the 3x from that side by subtracting it from both sides of the inequality. You're going to end up with 3 plus 5x is less than 12. The next step is to remove this 3 by subtracting 3 from both sides of the inequality. So we're going to have 5x is less than 9. And the last step is going to be dividing both sides of the inequality by 5. Since I'm dividing with a positive number, there is nothing that I'm going to change. So this is going to get me x is less than 9 over 5. Now, I'm going to put this on a number line, an open number line. Here's the open number line. And I will put 9 over 5 anywhere there. Notice that the inequality does not have an equal sign, which means this number is not included in my solution, so I'm going to put an open circle. To read this, we usually read it from left to right, so we say x is less than, this looks like an L, 9 over 5. So less than is all of the numbers to the left of it, which means that all of these numbers here are the solution, and we can represent that as an interval notation that starts from negative infinity. We read it from the left and it goes all the way to 9 over 5, and that is not included, so we put open parentheses on both sides of the inequality. Similar here, so the first step is going to be to distribute the 7 inside of the inequality. So we have 7x plus 7d minus 1 is greater than 4x plus 3. I then will combine the 7 and negative 2 before I move on to the next step. So this is going to be 7x plus 69 is greater than 4x plus 3. The next step is to remove positive 4 from the right-hand side by subtracting it from both sides of the equation. We're going to get 3x plus 69 is greater than 3. Remove, I will subtract 69 from both sides of the inequality to move the numbers to the right-hand side. So I will get 3x is greater than negative 66. Now, I'm going to divide both sides by positive 3. Since the division is with a positive number, there is nothing that you can change, or there is nothing that needs to be changed. So it's going to be x is greater than negative 22, and that is going to be the solution. Now, to represent this on a number line, I will put negative 22 somewhere, and it's not included, and it says x is greater than, which means all of the numbers to the right of it. That means this interval is the solution. So in an interval notation, we start from negative 22 and it goes all the way to positive infinity, and negative 22 is excluded, so we put open parentheses. The number here is negative 22. Now the next one, 21, we have a two-sided inequality, which means we can work on all of the sides of the inequality at the same time. So the first step is to add 2 to all of the sides of the inequality. By doing that, we get 4x is greater than negative 2 and less than 3. The next step is to divide all of the sides by 4. As we do that, there is nothing that we need to change, meaning the inequality does not change, and there is an equal sign here. So we have x is greater than negative 1/2. I just reduced that fraction, and less than or equal to 3 over 4. Now, on the number line, on the open number line, it's going to look like this. I'm going to put negative 1/2 here, and then 3/4 has to be to the right of it, so the order of number matters. -1/2 is excluded because this side has no equal sign, but 3/4 is included because that inequality that I highlighted pink has an equal sign. So we represent it with a closed circle. Let's read the inequality from the middle. So x is greater than -1/2. Greater than means all of the numbers to the right. And then x is less than or equal to 3/4. So it's all of the numbers to the left of that number. The answer is the intersection between the two, which means it's this area right here. We can represent this interval as -1/2, open on that side, goes all the way to 3/4, and it's inclusive, which means we're going to put a square bracket. Another two-sided inequality here, number 22. The first step is to add 1 to all sides of the inequality. So we have -5x is greater than -3 and less than 6. The next step will be to divide by -5, -5, -5. I'm going to stop here and I'm going to highlight my inequalities because the division happened to happen with a negative number. I know all of these signs are going to flip. So x is going to be less than 3/5. The negatives cancel out. And greater than 6/-5 or -6/5. It doesn't matter where you put the negative. On the number line, I'm going to represent it like that. So I will put -6/5 first because it's the smaller of the two quantities. 3/5 is positive, so it goes to the right. And both are not included because the inequalities are just strict less than and greater than afterwards. X in this case is less than 3/5. So less than 3/5 is all of the numbers go in this direction. And greater than -6/5, so this is all of the numbers go in this direction. And that means the inequality starts from -6/5, or the interval starts from -6/5 exclusive, and it goes all the way to 3/5 exclusive as well. Number 23, we have a set which has x such that x is less than or equal to 5 or x is greater than 3. Using interval notation, we need to represent it in interval notation. The best way to do that is to graph it or to sketch it on an open number line. I will put -5 first because it's smaller of the two numbers, and then the 3 has to be to the right. 5 is included because the inequality here has an equal sign, and 3 is excluded because it doesn't have an equal sign. This inequality, the first inequality, says x is less than or equal to 5. Less than or equal to 5 is all of the numbers to the left of it. And the other inequality says that x is greater than 3, so that is all of the numbers to the right of, all of the numbers to the right of 3. So the solution is going to be this interval and that interval together. So to write it, we're going to start writing the first interval. It starts from -infinity, goes all the way to -5, inclusive, union the next inequality, which is 3 to +infinity, open from both sides because the 3 is not included